to What's Yummy with Anja and Sandy.
Hi, we're going to be exploring the Lithuanian culture today by making some of its traditional dishes.
To begin, we'll give some background on the Lithuanian cuisine. Many Lithuanian foods contain potatoes, rye breads, as well as pork, lamb, and various other meat. So Sandy, what will we be making today?
Anja, speaking of potatoes, we're going to make a traditional potato dish called sepaline and another dish called kuchakai.
Let's begin.
Yes! Hey guys, so we're going to start off with sepaline, which is a potato dish. And we went ahead and already peeled the potatoes. So I have some of them here, and then some of their boiling to be mashed later and used for the dish later on. So with these potatoes, I'm gonna start off by grating them. So some of the fun facts about this dish is that potatoes were first introduced in the 17th century, but they were widely used in the 19th century, or I don't know what reason. And this dish is also named after Graf von Zeppelin, who was an aircraft manufacturer. This is why this dish, when it's being formed into dumplings, is in the shape of an aircraft. So I'm going to continue grating this. So once we have grated all the potatoes like this, we're going to remove all the excess water from it by wrapping around the grated potatoes in a cloth and then draining all the excess liquid in this bowl. Don't forget to keep that liquid, don't throw it out. So we're just putting the potatoes in the cloth. No, first we gotta put it on. Hey. Good? Just like this. And remember to keep the liquid. This is how the final dried grated potatoes look like. And we let the liquid settle down and the starch came all at the bottom. So we're going to add the starch at the bottom into the grated potatoes, but not the liquid. And the potatoes that were boiling were done boiling, and then we went ahead and mashed them. So now we're gonna mix the grated potatoes and the mashed potatoes together, and we're also gonna add 2 eggs. Last but not least, a teaspoon of sour cream. And then a dash of salt. And now I'm going to mix everything and knead it all together. So as you can see, she's forming the patty in the shape of a Zeppelin, the aircraft. And while she's doing that, she's adding carrots inside. So, because we're making a meatless zeppelini. And now she's just going to roll it up, and we're going to put it into the water to boil. Yuppie! Now we have our final product to eat and enjoy. Now moving on to the next one.
Hello and welcome back to What's Yummy with Anja and Sandy.
We're going to continue our episode from last week talking about Lithuanian culture. So as you saw last week, we made a potato dish, ceppaline. And today Anja is going to demonstrate the second dish.
So today we're going to make kuchkai, and this is a national all-time favorite for Lithuanians. It's part of their holiday season, so Christmas Eve is a very heavily celebrated holiday in Lithuania, and on that day they have a 12-dish supper, which is meatless, and it's 12 dishes because it resembles the 12 followers of Jesus. And on this, so they have kuchkai with poppy seed milk because there's no animal products that are allowed to be consumed during Christmas time. So to begin, we add 250 grams or 9 ounces of plain flour. So pour flour in here.
As Anja is demonstrating that, we already preheated the oven to 355 degrees. And so that's ready to go when we need it.
Alright, so we have our flour in here. And then we want to use 1 teaspoon of salt. Okay. And you want to get your exact measurements so that when your dough has to rise later, it can do so efficiently. And then what we want to do is we want to pour in a packet of this yeast, and it's supposed to be 1/4 ounce, and one of these packets is exactly 1/4 of an ounce. So let me just get my scissors. Okay. You don't want to pour in too much yeast, else it'll bubble up. So that goes in here. And then you want to put in about 3 ounces of sugar, so right under here.
She's using a measuring cup to help her.
Okay. There we go. So this is 3 ounces of sugar. Alright, and then what we want to do is our poppy seed.
Poppy seed.
And we want to put in 2 tablespoons. You can get this poppy seed anywhere.
We got a Julaska.
And then what you want to do is you want to mix this mixture up. So mix it all together in your bowl. And then, so it should look like this. And directions online say to blend this, but flour gets stuck in the blender and it's not efficient. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it by hand. So after you mix it, you want to get about 3 ounces of warm water so it can settle with the yeast. And you just want to pour it in your bowl and then mix it really strong because we're not going to blend it today.
This looks yummy, guys. Can't wait to eat it.
Alright, so now we have our 3 ounces of warm water. And we're just going to pour it in there. And so we're basically going to mix this until we get a nice round of dough. And if you do it in the blender, you blend it for a minute. If you're doing it like this, you just keep on stirring and stirring until you get dough. Continue stirring till once it's not too sticky, but it still has some moisture to it so that you can later round it into a nice circle. Okay, so once you're done mixing all your ingredients together, your dough should form like this. So it's not too sticky, but it still has some moisture to it. And what you want to do is you want to sprinkle a little bit of flour into a pan, and you want to knead it a little bit. Okay. And then once you're done kneading it, you want to leave it in your bowl that's also lightly floured, so put a little bit more flour into your bowl. And you just want to put it in here, and what it'll do, it'll rise a little bit. Leave it for like 1 to 2 hours in a warm place. It won't rise like when you're making bread, but it'll have some shape to it. And so you just cover it up with a cloth or a paper towel and let it sit for 1 to 2 hours, and then it should rise. Alright, so we baked our kuchkai for about 15 to 20 minutes, and this is the final product. And it is quite delicious. So join us next week for more of What's Yummy with Anja and Sandy.
Bye.
Bye.